7th house, and Jupiter aligns with Mars.
Then peace will guide the planets,
And love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. 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 Harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abounding. No more falsehoods or derisions, golden living dreams of visions,
mystic crystal revelation,
and the mind's true liberation. Aquarius, Aquarius.
when the moon is in the 7th house, and Jupiter aligns with Mars.
Then peace will guide the planets, and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. 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 Hey there, people all around the world, men and women, boys and girls. The time has come to occupy. It's much too late to judge and cry. Think about a love revolution, and it's here again. And it's time to let the sun shine in. Come together and sing out strong. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. The sun shine in. Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in. The sun shine in. All around the world. Let the sun shine. Come together. Let the sun shine. Sunshine. The sun shine in. Everybody sing. Let the sun shine. Open up your hearts. Let the sun shine. Sunshine. The sun shine in. Come together and sing out strong for a peaceful planet where we all belong. Replace all fears with love and grace. We are different shades of one human race. It's the place to chase. The revolution is here again. It's near again. The resolution will now begin for all to let the sun shine in.
Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the first time. 1,000 cups of tea but not like this one. 1,000 breaths we breathe, but not like this one. 1,000 suns will rise, but not like this one. 1,000 lullabies, but not like this one. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the first time. 1,000 passing smiles, come on, sing it, but not like this one. 1,000 starlit skies, but not like this one. 1,000 words to choose, but not like this one. 1,000 I love yous, but not like this one. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the first time. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the first time. I'm with a brand new pair of eyes, so that we may finally see. Yeah. 1,000 cups of tea, 1,000 gifts received, 1,000 fields of green, 1,000 farewells will grieve, and 1,000 lives conceived. Come on, sing it. But not like this one. 1,000 hands will hold, but not like this one. 1,000 stories told, but not like this one. 1,000 beauties to behold, but not like this one. And 1,000 hearts you'll know, but not like this one. And 1,000 hearts you'll know, but not like this one. Put your hand up on your heart with us right now. 1,000 hearts you'll know, but not like this one. So let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go back to the first time.
There's one power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. We speak so many languages, we have different clothing, different colors, different names. Different is only dangerous. We forget that in the heart we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'i, angels' wings or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, so what power can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. It's the moment of creation, it's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness, it's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration, it's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations, it's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon, for it's the love that's most deep. It's one power. It's one power. Yeah, it's what we are. Power. Power. One power. One power. It's the power of the love and you and me. One power.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Hello and welcome to the People of Diversity Sunday service. We are a multi-faith community and we believe there are many paths to one divinity. We have 10 different faith perspectives, speakers from each one of those, and we have 10 different positive music artists, and we have a one-word topic every 10 weeks. We give that to our speakers and our musicians. They do their videos, send them in when it's their turn. Scott and I do the opening and the closing, and we send it all to Philip and his team, and they put it together and make what you're watching now. So if you would like to help support this effort, you can go to www.peopleofdiversity.org and push that donate button. You can do a one-time donation, you can do a regular tithe of some sort, weekly, monthly, whatever. It's a good, solid way to join the family. We appreciate it.
It's a getting thing done way.
That's right.
Yes. Okay, so last week we wrapped up Sanctuary, powerful series, wrapped up with a great talk from Swami Dumavadi, and Bob Sima and Shan Plummer gave us some music just to put it all in a nice little bow. Today we'll hear from Dean Martineau and Judi Behrendt, our Baha'i representatives. It'll be our first talk on freedom. Their musical person will be Kristen Justice Petro. And next week we have Naran Sykes, our Muslim representative, and she is coupled with Keith Leon. So after the morning services, we have a deep dive from 11:45 to 12:15. We'd love for you to join us for that. If it asks, there's a link in the post, and probably on the screen below. If you need a password, it's truth. And it's amazing because we actually get to talk and hang out and see each other and goof and have fun. So join us there if you care to. We keep it to a half an hour so that we don't steal your day. Then in the evening at 5:45, we rebroadcast, easy for me to say, the morning service so that you can double back, watch it a second time. That's what we do. Or we also pin that to the top of the pod pages and group so that you can venture back or send someone else later on in the week. If you want to get notifications, you must be part of the pod group or the pod page. That way it will ping you on Sunday morning because it's a premiere or an event. Things are also changing rapidly on Facebook, so being a part of the pod group or page will allow you to be in the know when the changes happen. Is there any of those little things that I forgot to do? I don't think so. I think I nailed it. I think I got it all.
Good job. Our country that we are blessing this week is Estonia. The country we are blessing next week, I'll pull it up here.
It's another strange name.
Yeah, Eswatini. I hope I'm saying that right. Eswatini. So if you know anything about Eswatini, you got me beat. Send any fun facts, pictures, personal stories, whatever you might know about Eswatini to the email.
You just like saying that.
I know, I like it. I'm going to have to Google it and make sure I'm pronouncing it right. And send it to the email address below, and we'll use it in our country blessing next week. So let's see what I learned about Estonia. Now I can't say that one. Estonia. Estonia is located in northern Europe on the Baltic Sea. It's about the size of New Hampshire and Vermont combined and has 1.3 million people. It's one of the least religious countries in the world, with only about 16% of the population being affiliated with a particular religion. That was really interesting. Yeah. Estonia includes over 2,000 islands that are out in the Baltic. 50% of the country is covered by forests, and as a result of that, it boasts some of the cleanest air in the world. That makes good sense. We should learn from that. Estonia is the site of the very first Christmas tree. First time a tree was decorated. It's the first country in the world to institute online voting. That happened in 2005. And you can also become a citizen of Estonia online. And one of the things I read said that Barack Obama became a citizen of Estonia online. I thought that was very interesting. I don't have any idea if that's really true. I only saw it in one place. So. Estonia is the birthplace of Skype. And it is one of the most internet-connected countries in the world. You can even get a signal in the woods. 50% of it's in the forest, and you can even go pretty much anywhere there and still get a signal. 19% of Estonians are unemployed, but they have a 99.8% literacy rate, which is the second highest in the world. Yeah, 99.8%. And this is the last one, and if I'm sure there's probably a really interesting picture to go along with this one, I'm hoping. Each year, they have a wife carrying competition where men carry their wives through an obstacle course, and whoever does it the fastest wins. And many contestants actually come to this from all over Europe. It's a real thing, a big thing. So, the wife carrying competition.
The wife thing.
Yeah. Isn't that really amusing? All right. So, let's hold the people of Estonia in our hearts. We know they want the same things in their lives that we want in ours. Let's see them prosperous, abundant, at peace, enjoying all of the natural resources that they have there. We hold them in our hearts and we say these words together.
May peace prevail in Estonia. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me.
Thank you. All right, sir. Yeah.
So I think Kristen Justice Petro is part of the Jen Farron clan. She has brought us a couple of really wonderful folks to join the team. So I know that we'll enjoy her, and she's upbeat, and freedom should be right up her alley, I'm thinking, just by her vibe. And we are, of course, looking forward to Dean and Judy. Not only is it the time of year for us here in the States, but freedom is a big piece of the Baha'i message as well. So I'm interested to see how they're going to frame it up. So without further ado, we will see you on the other side.
Hi, my name is Kristen Hope Justice, and I've got the tune for you for freedom this week. And this song I'm going to play for you is my original tune called Truth Will Set You Free. Days turn into nights, turn into days, growing shorter. Freedom's just a memory of time when we were younger. Time we're in a bottle, would we spin it any slower? To revel in the laughter of our children growing older. The truth will set you free. Truth will set you free. Words across your lips can sink the mightiest of ships. The light that only brings the answers that remain unseen. Wings were meant to fly just as we're made to forgive. And though one day we'll all die, our lives are meant to be lived. Truth will set you free. Justice again, and I am going to sing for you a little tune for the message of freedom, and it's an apropos song called The Freedom Song by Jason Mraz. So here you go. Enjoy. I picture something, it's beautiful, it's full of life and it is all blue. I see a sunset on the beach, yeah, it makes me feel calm, and when I'm calm, I feel good. When I feel good, I sing, and the joy it brings makes me feel good. When I feel good, I sing, and the joy it brings. I see the birds fly across the sky. Everyone's heart flies to get there. Food is frying, people smiling, like there is no other way to feel good. When I feel good, I sing, and the joy it brings makes me feel good. When I feel good, I sing, and the joy it brings. Come on along, I know you wanna feel our song. We got some light to bring, we got some joy in this thing. Come on along, I know you wanna feel our song. We got some light to bring, we got some joy in this thing. Can you feel the joy it brings? If you can feel the joy, then you should let yourself sing. Oh, I love to share my things. Oh, come on along, I know you wanna feel our song. We got some light to bring, we got some joy in this thing. Come on along, I know you wanna feel our song. We got some light in the bring, got some joy in this thing. Freedom, oh, 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 freedom. Gotta give you some of that freedom, yeah, 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 oh, freedom. Gotta get you some freedom, yeah, yeah. Gotta get you some of that freedom, yeah, oh, freedom, freedom, freedom. Enjoy your week.
Freedom is coming, freedom is coming, freedom is coming, oh yes I know. Freedom is coming, freedom is coming, freedom is coming, oh yes I know.
Freedom is coming, freedom is coming, freedom is coming, oh yes I know. Freedom is coming, freedom is coming, freedom is coming, oh yes I know. Freedom is coming, freedom is coming, freedom is coming, oh yes I know. Freedom is coming, freedom is coming, freedom is coming, oh yes I know. Yes I know, oh yes I know, oh yes I know. Freedom is coming, oh yes I know. Oh yes I know, oh yes I know. Freedom is coming, oh yes I know. Justice is coming, justice is coming, justice is coming, oh yes I know. Justice is coming, justice is coming, justice is coming, oh yes. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Oh yes, I know.
Yes, indeed, freedom is coming, and it will be upon us on the human race. We have a choice. It could be sooner, it could be later. The way we're tending to behave, it seems like it's going to be later, and it's going to come through the influence of the teachings of Baha'u'llah, founder of the Baha'i faith, and the latest being to be manifested, to manifest God to us on our plane of existence. For those who don't know me, and I hope there's a lot, but there probably aren't too many, I'm Dean Martineau from the Baha'i community of Melbourne, Florida. Judi Behrendt Martineau is in the background helping to make things work properly. And we're going to talk about freedom as viewed from the Baha'i standpoint today. I'm going to look at a lot of different things. I'm going to drop a lot of little nuggets of thought and emphasize a few points with more completeness. Hopefully, there will be something here that you will find intriguing. I want to begin with sort of an overarching principle. And this is a principle that we're probably familiar with in religion, but I think it's applied a little differently in the case of the Baha'i faith. Baha'u'llah, during his 40-year time of rule, of receiving divine revelation and establishing the spiritual path of humanity on its path for the next 1,000 or thousands of years, suffered terribly. He was imprisoned. Attempts were made to murder him. He was exiled. He suffered all manner of vexations, as they referred to in French, as sufferings, and he did that in order to rejuvenate humanity. Now, we've seen the principle that Christ died for our sins be sort of weaponized against a lot of us by the Christian clergy, but there is a spiritual truth behind it, and that spiritual truth is again apparent in this day in the life and mission of Baha'u'llah, the glory of God. And here is what he said about this. The ancient beauty, that's one of the names of Baha'u'llah, the ancient beauty hath consented to be bound with chains, that mankind may be released from its bondage, and hath accepted to be made a prisoner within this most mighty stronghold, that the whole world may attain unto true liberty. He hath drained to its dregs the cup of sorrow, that all the peoples of the earth may attain unto each abiding joy, and be filled with gladness. This is of the mercy of your Lord, the compassionate, the most merciful. We have accepted to be abased, O believers, in the unity of God, that ye may be exalted, and have suffered manifold afflictions, that ye might prosper and flourish. The prison referred to in that passage was the prison of Akka in what was then Palestine. It was regarded as the worst penal colony in the Ottoman Empire, which was in sway in the 1800s. And stories were told that a bird flying over Akka would drop dead because of the stench, because of the foul air. And so that was where Baha'u'llah was sent, thinking that he and his faith would die. And in fact, quite the reverse happened. So Baha'u'llah suffered all of these things in order to rejuvenate us. He truly had the choice not to suffer any of them. He chose to suffer them so that the energies would be infused into humanity to rise and to build a prosperous civilization. Let's hear that again in a different voice.
The ancient beauty hath consented to be bound with chains, that mankind may be released from its bondage, and hath accepted to be made a prisoner within this most mighty stronghold, that the whole world may attain unto true liberty. He hath drained to its dregs the cup of sorrow, that all the peoples of the earth may attain unto abiding joy, and be filled with gladness. This is of the mercy of your Lord, the compassionate, the most merciful. We have accepted to be abased, O believers, in the unity of God, that ye may be exalted, and have suffered manifold afflictions, that ye might prosper and flourish. He who hath come to build anew the whole world, behold how they that have joined partners with God have forced him to dwell within the most desolate of cities.
Let's talk a bit about some of the true freedom that Baha'u'llah suffered so much to make possible for us now and on into the distant future, which will indeed be a glorious civilization to be initiated under the banners of the Baha'i faith. On the one hand, when Baha'u'llah was a prisoner, the lowest of the low, he addressed the rulers and kings of the world that were in power, and they had very much power. They were very omnipotent at that time, fulfilling, incidentally, prophecies in the book of Isaiah. He would take the government upon his shoulders, and he wrote to them and told them in no uncertain terms to cease their tyranny, cease their injustice that were rampant against their peoples. And so really his message is a call to freedom. But what does that freedom look like? It doesn't necessarily look like what it seems to look like in Western civilization right now. In another document that I'm referring to, a couple of different documents here as I sort of put this together from the Baha'i writings. All of this material can be found online. Shoghi Effendi, the guardian of the Baha'i faith, wrote that Baha'u'llah inculcates the principle of moderation in all things and declares that whatsoever, be it liberty, civilization, and the like, passeth beyond the limits of moderation, must exercise a pernicious influence upon men. So we're talking about moderate freedom, not unlimited freedom. So he observes that Western civilization has gravely perturbed and alarmed the peoples of the world, and predicts that the day is approaching when the flame of a civilization carried to excess will devour the cities. That's kind of a scary prospect. Expounding more on the theme of liberty, Baha'u'llah asserts that the embodiment of liberty and its symbol is the animal. That liberty causeth man to overstep the bounds of propriety and to infringe on the dignity of his station. The true liberty consisteth in man's submission unto my commandments. We approve of liberty in certain circumstances, Baha'u'llah says, and refuse to sanction it at others. But he gave the assurance that were men to observe that which we, Baha'u'llah, have sent down unto them from the heaven of revelation, they would of a certainty attain unto perfect liberty. And again he says, mankind, humanity, that's how these words are written, mankind in its entirety must firmly adhere to whatsoever hath been revealed and vouchsafed unto it. Then and only then will it attain unto true liberty. So the question that the Universal House of Justice poses in this document I'm writing are some things like, should liberty be as free as is supposed in contemporary Western thought? Where does freedom limit our possibilities for progress? And where do limits free us to thrive? What are the limits to the expansion of freedom? Abdu'l-Baha does comfort us in this area, as he says that the moderate freedom which guarantees the welfare of the world of humanity and maintains and preserves the universal relationships is found in its fullest power and extension in the teachings of Baha'u'llah. So we have this world where there's so much effort going on to fight for freedom, but it is not necessarily a freedom that is totally desirable because it is not moderate. Ultimately, the Baha'i writings are very clear that true freedom comes from the freedom from self. Interestingly enough, and in the, I mentioned the prison that Baha'u'llah was sent to earlier, Abdu'l-Baha had some things to say about this because he was in that prison for 40 years. And he said that, let's find the paragraph here, which I'm not finding. That's unfortunate. Oh, here it is. Okay. He says, Freedom is not a matter of place, it's a condition. I was thankful for the prison, and the lack of liberty was very pleasing to me, for those days were passed in the path of service, under the utmost difficulties and trials, bearing fruits and results. Unless one accepts dire vicissitudes, he will not attain. To me, prison is freedom, troubles rest me, death is life, and to be despised is honored. Therefore, I was happy all that time in prison. And that's because the true prison is the prison of self. And we're going to have a little video expounding upon that notion right now.
Free, free, free thyself, free thyself from the fetters of this world. And lose thy soul, lose thy soul from the prison of self. Seize thy chance, for it will come to thee no more. Free thyself, free thyself from the fetters of this world. And lose thy soul, lose thy soul from the prison of self. Seize thy chance, for it will come to thee no more. Free thyself, free thyself from the fetters of this world.
I want to talk about a few aspects of freedom of expression in its broadest sense and some of the principles that underlie that, as well as the role of the individual in the society before we finish. So Baha'u'llah has greatly deepened extended the scope and deepened the meaning of self-expression. In his elevation of art and of work performed in the service of humanity to acts of worship can be discerned enormous prospects for a new birth of expression in the civilization anticipated from his order. From a Baha'i point of view, the exercise of freedom of speech must necessarily be disciplined by a profound appreciation of both the positive and negative dimensions of freedom on the one hand and of speech on the other. Talking about speech, Baha'u'llah says, the tongue is a smoldering fire, and excess of speech a deadly poison. Material fire consumeth the body, he says elsewhere, whereas the fire of the tongue devoureth both heart and soul. The force of the former lasteth but for a time, whilst the effects of the latter endureth a century. And again, talking about back to moderation, he says, human utterance is an essence which aspireth to exert its influence and needeth moderation. He states, as to its influence, this is conditioned upon refinement, which in turn is dependent upon hearts which are detached and pure. As to its moderation, this has to be combined with tact and wisdom, as prescribed in the Holy Scriptures and tablets. And it goes on, this document that I'm sort of paraphrasing it from, also relevant to what is said and how is when it is said. For speech, like for so many other things, there is a season. Baha'u'llah reinforces this understanding by drawing attention to the maxim that not everything that a man knoweth can be disclosed, nor can everything that he can disclose be regarded as timely, nor can every timely utterance be considered as suited to the capacity of those who hear it. So as they say here, speech is a powerful phenomenon. Its freedom is both to be extolled and feared. It calls for an acute exercise of judgment, since both the limitation of speech and the excess of it can lead to dire consequences. Thus, there exist in the system of Baha'u'llah checks and balances necessary to the beneficial use of this freedom in the onward development of society. Love and harmony, purity of motive, humility and lowliness among the friends, patience and long-suffering in difficulties, these inform the attitude with which they proceed with the utmost devotion, courtesy, dignity, care, and moderation to express their views, each using perfect liberty, both in so doing and in unveiling the proof of his demonstration. And then this goes on. These passages have to do with the process called Baha'i consultation, which is a means of making decisions and arriving at the truth in matters. And once you've said something, the writings go on to say, if another contradicts him, he must not become excited, because if there be no investigation or verification of questions and matters, the agreeable view will not be discovered nor understood. The shining spark of truth cometh forth only after the clash of differing opinions. So we have a lot of interesting ideas here about the freedom of speech and about speech in general. And as far as the individual is concerned, the role of the individual in society is a little different than what we're used to. The Baha'i conception of social life is essentially based on the principle of the subordination of the individual will to that of society. It neither suppresses the individual, nor doth it exalt him to the point of making him an antisocial creature, a menace to society. As in everything, it follows the golden mean. It's interesting that the Universal House of Justice, this head governing body, prepared its constitution back in 1972, and two of the planks in that constitution, two of its duties are to safeguard the personal rights, freedom, and initiative of individuals. And another one is to give attention to the preservation of human honor. So how noteworthy is it, this document summarizes, that in the order of Baha'u'llah, while the individual will is subordinated to the will of society, the individual is not lost in the mass, that becomes the focus of primary development, so that he may find his own place in the flow of progress, and society as a whole may benefit from the accumulated talents and abilities of the individuals composing it. Such an individual finds fulfillment of his potential not merely in satisfying his own wants, but in realizing his completeness in being at one with humanity and with the divinely ordained purpose of creation. So to summarize this, they say, and this is some great wording here, might it not be reasonably concluded then that true liberty is the gift of Baha'u'llah, of his gift of love for human race? Consider what Baha'u'llah has done. He revealed laws and principles to guide the free. He established an order to channel the actions of the free. He proclaimed a covenant to guarantee the unity of the free. And so we hold to this ultimate perspective. Baha'u'llah came to set humanity free. His revelation is indeed an invitation to freedom. Freedom from want, freedom from war, freedom to unite, freedom to progress, freedom in peace and joy. So I'm going to end with a music video of some of the writings of Baha'u'llah concerning freedom and some other topics. So I hope you've found this something that has given you something to think about here. I'll be with you on the deep dive if you're listening live, and if you're going to come in later for the deep dive. Otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this, whatever replay you've watched. So thank you very much for your attention, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
True freedom is obedience to God. True freedom is obedience to God. True freedom is obedience to God. Raise me up and let me be free. True glory is contentment with his will. True glory is contentment with his will. True glory is contentment with his will. Raise me up and let me be free. True justice is to see with searching eyes. True justice is to see with searching eyes. True justice is to see with searching eyes. Raise me up and let me be free. True religion is to follow in his way. True religion is to follow in his way. True religion is to follow in his way. Raise me up and let me be free. True courage is promotion of his word. True courage is promotion of his word. True courage is promotion of his word. Raise me up and let me be free. True power is steadfastness in his love. True power is steadfastness in his love. True power is steadfastness in his love. Raise me up and let me be free. True love is to burn with his desire. True love
Thank you so much, Kristen. Again, you are just doing great for us, and we really enjoy it having you as part of the pod family. Thank you very much. Yeah, and thank you, Jen, for sending her. Dean and Judy, we also appreciate you so very much. Your talks are just always amazing and so educational and inspiring all at the same time. And Dean does most, if not all, of the talking, but we know Judy's in the background pulling the strings
Always
and getting
there.
things done, right? And so we appreciate you both so very much, and we love you. Thank you, Philip, and your team for putting all this together. It's always awesome, and you do such a good job for us, and we appreciate all of you too. So thank you very much. Following the service, the morning service, 11:45 to 12:15, we'll be doing our live Zoom deep dive, and Dean and or Judy typically join us if at all possible. They usually do, so that gives us a chance to ask questions or just discuss what their message was. And then tonight at 5:45, we will rebroadcast the morning service, and you can see it again. It's not live like the Zoom, but we get in the chat window and shoot hearts at each other and say hi, and that's always enjoyable. And I always get a lot out of the second time around.
Me too.
I
More.
always do.
More, yeah.
Next week, Naran Sykes, who's always awesome. She so comes from her heart. And our dear brother that we love dearly, Keith Leon, will be doing the music.
So, www.peopleofdiversity.org. Again, that's how you can connect to us and participate in a real concrete way. Hit that donate button and just act as you're moved. We'd like to just connect with that thought, that moment. If you could close your eyes, take a deep breath, ground yourself into the earth. Spirit, thank you for the tithes, the offerings, the gifts, the donations that come in and help us to support this amazing process. We are grateful to be a part of it, and we are grateful for all those who get to come and join us. And we say amen together.
Amen.
So don't click off just yet. The best part of the service is next. If we could bring to our mind's eye anyone in our lives who might need help, support, or healing, and bring them into a cosmic, a happy circle, if you will, an energetic circle where we can all connect and just push out love and light to each other. And let's not forget all of the people who are trying to keep this little green planet operating efficiently. So have an amazing day, a great week, and we'll see you soon.
One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me.